Hey guys, it's Nick from Pick'em MMA and I'm back with another video for UFC pay-per-view 292. It's going to be going down this Saturday, next weekend. And we have Aljamain Sterling going up against the up-and-comer Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is the second-ranked bantamweight right now, just behind Merab Dvalishvili. And he's going to be fighting Merab's buddy, Aljamain Sterling. And this is a matchup between a grappler and a striker. O'Malley is mostly like the bigger, better striker, the more technical striker. Also with the better setups on the feet, I think. And he is working on his takedown defense right now. Aljamain Sterling's pressure and wrestling is gonna be on another level, guys. So we're gonna be talking about this soon. But we did really good on the Luque versus the RDA card. Let me just bring it up right now for you all to see. So we ended up going 10-2. After the weigh-ins, I changed my one pick from it was from Juliana Miller to Santos, because I just, as soon as you see Miller on the weigh-ins, you can tell she looked like she had a really bad weight cut. And then when she was fighting in the cage, she looked really stiff. Just didn't want to be in there. It looked like she gassed out in like a minute. And Santo just put it on her and just got the TKO in the first round. Just an absolute horrible performance from Juliana Miller. But I'm just so glad that I changed it last minute. I just had a really bad feeling about Miller. But I didn't really bet on this fight, to be honest. And the next fight we had Blackshear by submission. I called the submission. A lot of people had a KO, I think. Yeah, a lot of people had submission too. So a lot of people had decision. A lot of people thought this fight was gonna go to decision, but not me. I thought Blackshear was gonna get the submission because Johnson's had bad takedown defense in the past. He's been submitted now he's been submitted like 4 times. Yeah, he's been submitted 4 times and 1 loss. So Damon Blackshear looked like a minus 1,000 favorite out there. I got him early at like minus 230, I think, when there was a lot of late money coming in on Jose Johnson. But I'm so glad Blackshear got the submission win in the first round. And it was a twister. It was like a really good twister submission. Let's go to the next fight on the card. We had come on, why can't I? Yeah, let me just pull it up. The next fight was Jacqueline Amorim. She was able to get it done by ground and pound. I thought she was gonna get the first round submission, but man, she attempted like 3 submissions, I think 3 or 2 submissions, and almost had Ruiz out of there. But Montserrat Ruiz is a tough girl. But Jacqueline pretty much just bullied her. Ruiz was just much smaller than her. Like, she just got out muscled. And then Ruiz was on top of her in the last round, but then Jacqueline she got the takedown and then just landed that ground and pound and just got her out of there. So that was a good win for Jacqueline Amorim. And then for the next fight we had Martin Boudet. He was able to get a early submission in the first round, so that's a really good win. That was only like minus 198 money line. So that's also a really good play. And the next fight, I got this pick wrong. I thought Marshall was going to be too much for the newcomer. But looks like Isaac Delgarian is the real deal. I did sprinkle on Isaac Delgarian in the first round. It was like plus 500 on DraftKings. And I put like $20 on it. And I'm glad he got it done. I was really happy. I made some easy money there on Isaac Delgarian. To get a first round TKO over a guy like Francis Marshall, that's a really big deal. So there's good things coming for Isaac Delgarian in the UFC. And then for the next fight, we had Terrence McKinney versus Mike Breeden. Terrence McKinney got the first round TKO. I had McKinney by KO, TKO or DQ. It was plus 140. So that was easy money there. Mike Breeden should not be fighting in the UFC. He shouldn't even be fighting in Bellator, LFA. This dude should not be fighting at all. Just no skills. Just didn't want to be there. And then for the next fight, we had Marcus McGee to win by KO in the first round, and he got it done in the first round. So I'm also really happy about that. I also did sprinkle JP Bays by submission. In the first round, I thought if he was able to maybe get his back, he might be able to choke him out. But Marcus McGee just was too much for him. JP Bays, if he's still in the UFC, he should go back down to 125. Or I don't think he should bid the UFC at all. And then for the next fight, we had Josh Fremd versus Jamie Pickett. I really thought Josh Fremd was going to be able to get the submission win in the second round or third round or maybe a TKO. But Pickett pretty much survived the whole fight. Pickett just really didn't do much out there. Josh Fremd just did a little bit more than him, so he got the unanimous decision win there. Good win for Josh Fremd. I had him on the money line. I live bet him at like minus 300, I think. And then for the next fight, I got this one wrong. I had Tufan Chukwi. I thought he was gonna outstrike him, outland him, but he just had a hard time finding AJ Dobson's chin, and Dobson was mixing in the takedowns, and he was able to get the unanimous decision win there. And then for the next fight, guys, we had Yasmin Lucindo versus Polyana Viana. A lot of people picked the Polyana Viana here. I mean, even on Tapology, 58% people picked Polyana Viana. They thought her submission game and KO power was going to be too much for Lucindo. But look, Yasmin Lucindo is the real deal, man. She just submitted the black belt in Polyana Viana in the second round. So that's a really good win for. I had money on Lucindo and Luque. I had a parlay with her and Luque. So I'm really happy about that. And then for the next fight, we had Khalil Roundtree versus Chris Daukaus. To be honest, I feel bad for Chris Daukaus because they keep matching him up with these hard-hitting black dudes who just hit like a truck. And Daukaus just doesn't have that chin or the durability or the punching power. I mean, he did land some good shots in the first round, but it didn't really bother Roundtree at all. And Roundtree just put him down with a nice straight right hand, I think it was. And straight left, yeah, it was a straight left. And that's all he wrote. First round KO for Khalil Roundtree. There was a lot of late money coming on Chris Daukaus. I mean, Khalil Roundtree closed in at like minus 160, minus 170 on DraftKings. In the early week, he was like minus 200 if I remember correctly. And then for the co-main event of the evening, we had Cub Swanson versus Hakeem Dawodu. I had a big parlay with Hakeem Dawodu in it. I had Khalil Roundtree, Hakeem Dawodu, and Luque. And I had like $100 on it, I think. And it was supposed to pay like 400, something like that. Man, I was so pissed off at first when, but I'm not gonna be shocked, and I'm not gonna tell you guys, Hakeem Dawodu shouldn't have gotten robbed there. At first, I was really pissed off because I lost my parlay, one of my parlays on this card, because of this decision. But Hakeem Dawodu didn't really do all that much more than Cub Swanson to get that victory. I mean, all three judges side for Cub Swanson. I thought if Cub Swanson was gonna get the W, it might be a split decision. But I still thought Hakeem Dawodu did enough to get the win, but it couldn't really happen to a better guy. I love Cub Swanson, man. This dude's been in the UFC forever. I mean, look how many fights he's got. Like 23 fights in the UFC. That's insane, man. This dude's a legend. This really couldn't happen to a better guy. I'm so happy for Cub Swanson. He still looked good out there, man. He could still compete with these guys. He didn't look washed at all. And this is a really big win for him at a really big spot in a co-main event. I know the UFC probably wanted to build up Hakeem Dawodu, but it is what it is, you know. Like Max Holloway says, it is what it is. And Cub Swanson gets a big victory. I hope he retires, man. I know he can still fight, but I just hope he retires. I mean, like, retiring on a W is gonna be good for him, but I think we're still gonna see him back. And then for the main event of the evening, we had Luque versus RDA. And what a really good fight, man. I really enjoyed this fight. I know it wasn't really like the most entertaining fight out there, but this was a really good fight, man. RDA at 38, I just don't think he's got the punching power anymore or the wrestling. He got out-wrestled in this fight. I mean, Luque pretty much just out-grinded him on the clinch, out-grinded him in the wrestling. Against the fence. RDA just didn't have an answer. I mean, he couldn't really defend the takedowns. He got like 2 takedowns, and Luque got like I think RDA got like 3 takedowns and Luque got like 8 takedowns or something like that. So a really good win for Luque. I thought he was gonna get the KO in like the 4th round, but RDA still look good out there, man. I'm really glad I picked Vicente Luque as the underdog here. He closed in at like plus 110 just before the fight. A lot of late money came in on Rafael dos Anjos, and why wouldn't they, man? Rafael dos Anjos is a UFC legend. And both of these guys, man, I'm really happy both of them went 5 rounds and none of them took a lot of damage in this fight. So I'm really happy about that, you know. So guys, we went 10-3 overall. I thought it was gonna be 11-2 because that co-main event decision, but I'm not too pissed off about that. But the only 2 losses we had was Francis Marceau and the other one was Tafan Chukwi. So that's the only 2 proper losses we had this weekend. I should have probably put out a best bets video, but I was kind of scared of this card. But yeah, I am up like 4 units from Bellator and the UFC from this weekend. I'm up like 5 units, man. So I'm really happy about that. I know I'm gonna be using those 5 units, 5.5 units towards UFC 292. So guys, please hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below for the algorithm for your boy. And we're gonna be talking about the Sterling versus O'Malley card now. So let's start with the first fight on the card. We have Kurt Holloway versus Austin Herbert. I think this is Ultimate Fighter, or this is like a tournament championship. Yeah, this is like Ultimate Fighter. So I think Holloway, I mean, he's pretty much just a KO or bust guy. He's pretty much gonna go in there, try to get the KO early. He is tough, man. This dude's gonna fight for your money, but he's not really a good minutes winner. He's just trying to look for the big shot. Whereas Austin Herbert, he is the minutes winner. He knows how to win minutes, and he's got 3 wins in the UFC. 1 KO and 2 decisions. He got submitted once in the UFC and 3 decision losses. If you can get Austin Herbert at like a good line, I mean, I think he's gonna win this fight. I think Austin Herbert is gonna win by decision. I think the prop decision for Austin Herbert is a good bet. I think I'm gonna sprinkle like maybe like half a unit on him. Let's go to the next fight on the prelims. We have Mairena Mirage versus Corinne Silva. This is their second fight, I think. Mirage already fought her early. If I remember correctly, I mean, she did fight her, didn't she? Yes, she fought her like in 2014, November 1st, and she got armbarred. This is going to be a lot different fight because now she has a lot of experience. This was her like 6th fight, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th fight, yeah, in her MMA career. So she wasn't all that experienced back then, Corinne Silva. But now she's putting everything together at 29 years old. She's on a 7-5 win streak right now, just destroying people left and right. Just her ground game is coming really well together right now. Just knee board in the first round over Caitlin Souza, the newcomer who made her UFC debut. Then got another Darce choke over Poliana Bertello, who I don't even think is in the UFC anymore, to be honest. Yeah, she's in Invicta, but she got a win in Invicta, so that's a really good win there. Man, I think this is gonna be a lot closer than people think. I wouldn't really bet on Corinne Silva at minus 180. Like, I know she's gonna win. I really do think she's gonna win this fight, but man, this Mirage, she's got good skills all around too. She knows how to win fights. She's got a win over Mayra Buenaso, who's gonna be fighting for the title very soon, back in 2020. So that's a really good win. That's aged really good. But man, I got another win over Maria Agapova, choked her out in 2022. Lost to Angela Hill, lost to Carla Esparza. I'm still gonna go with Queen Silva here. I think she's gonna outland her. I don't think she's gonna submit her here. I'm not really gonna be touching the over and under bets in this fight, but I think Queen Silva should be able to get it done, and she should be able to make it even between the two, and get the victory in the rematch. we're gonna go Queen Silva by. I'm gonna go by decision. I don't think. Miraz has never been knocked out or submitted. I don't think Queen Silva. Maybe if she really gets her back and starts hurting her, and if she stuns her on the feet, maybe she could lock something up. But it's very, very unlikely, man. Miraz is a tough girl. She's not gonna go out there and give up easy, even if she's hurt. But I think Queen Silva is gonna outland her. Maybe get some takedowns and just win by decision. Maybe a split decision or unanimous decision. Let's go to the next fight now, guys. We have another women's MMA fight. We have Andrea Lee versus Natalia Silva. Andrea Lee coming off 2 losses in a row over Macy Barber and Viviana Araujo. The last fight she lost against Macy Barber was very, very close. I think it was a close fight if I remember. That was like 4 months ago. Natalia Silva is a big favorite in this fight. I mean, she's a big favorite. I think she's going to be able to get the job done here. But man, Andrea Lee is a tough girl though. I mean, she's not going to be easy to beat out there. But I think Natalia Silva is going to outstrike her on the feet. Hurt her, maybe stun her, land the bigger shots on the feet. Andrea Lee, she does have good volume. But she's not really the type to have a lot of pop on her shots. You know what I mean? Like, she's not really like the power hit, the hard hitter, or she doesn't have like really good wrestling either. I think Natalia Silva, as long as she's able to stay on the feet, I think she's gonna be able to get this win here. I'm gonna go Natalia Silva by decision, but it could be a late TKO if Natalia Silva really starts putting everything together, really starts backing Lee back to the cage and letting go of her strikes. I'm gonna go Natalia Silva by decision. Yeah, a lot of people think decision too, yeah, I'm gonna go by decision. I don't see Andrea Lee getting stopped here. Let's go to the next fight on the prelims. We have Gerald Meerschaert, GM3 versus Andre Petroski. Andre Petroski coming off almost 9 months layoff. Not really a layoff, but still 9 months is a long time. Gerald Meerschaert coming off lost over Joe Pyfer, where he got knocked out starts in the first round. Just didn't have a clue what to do. Just looked like he had that deer in the headlight look against Joe Pyfer. Went for one takedown and just got absolutely starched by Joe Pyfer. And then before he got a win over Bruno Silva, where he just kind of gassed him out. Bruno Silva is not all that good. I mean, I don't really rate Bruno Silva all that much. I mean, he's a tough dude. But Bruno Silva can be gassed. That's his Bruno Silva's problem. Before that, he lost by decision to Krzysztof Jotko. Before that, he got a win over Justin Stoltzfus, who should not be in the UFC, to be honest. Even Abu Smagomedov starched Dustin Stoltzfus in like under a minute. Before that, he got a win over Mahmoud Muradov, which is a really good win. Choked him out late in the fight. Guys, I think this fight's going to be easy for Andre Petroski in the first 2 rounds. And if he's not able to get Gerald Meerschaert out, I think he's going to be able to get him out, to be honest, in the first round. I think Meerschaert's striking is not going to improve anymore. We already see the final product from Gerald Meerschaert. He's got the good cardio. If he can survive the first round, the first 7 or 8 minutes, I think the likelihood of Gerald Meerschaert getting a late finish goes up pretty high. But I'm still going to go Andre Petroski. I think he's working on everything together right now. He's putting things together, getting finishes left and right. Competing in grappling tournaments too against the good fighters like Brandon Battle. Look at this, like this is what you want to see. You want to see these people like him competing, staying active. He does have a loss to Brian Battle in the Ultimate Fighter. Got choked out late, then got knee to the ground and pounded by Aaron Jeffrey, who's a really good fighter back in Bellator. Right now, he's putting things together right now. Man, I think Andre Petroski should win this fight. But am I gonna lay money on minus 250? I think he's sitting at Petroski sitting at minus 270, minus 227 in some places. On Beve he's sitting at minus 275. On DraftKings he's sitting at minus 250. I took a shot on Petrosky at minus 250. But if this fight goes long, man, I'm going to be scared for Petrosky, to be honest. Because Gerald Mearshart, he knows how to wrap your neck up, choke you out late. You got to watch for Andrei Petrosky's gas tank. Because Mearshart is dangerous. But Petrosky should be able to get it done early. Let's go to the next fight now. On the prelims, we have the featured prelim. No, we have Gregory Rodriguez Robocop versus Dennis Tululin. Guys, I'm gonna go with Gregory Rodriguez, man. But am I betting him at minus 340, 350? Hell nah. Like, there's no way I'm betting a guy who's got really a lot of chin issues, stays in the pocket too long, doesn't move his head at all, and he's been knocked out by like a really low level diabetic guy in the Contender Series. Yeah, Jordan Williams. Like, look at this. If you get knocked out by this guy, man, who's like just getting starched left and right, this is not a good look. But even Dennis Tululin, I'm not all that impressed by Dennis Tululin. Really bad takedown defense. He gets choked out all the time. If Robocop is smart, he's gonna take him down here and find a ground and pound or submission. But if he chooses to stand with Dennis Tululin, this is gonna be a tricky fight. I'm gonna be sweating. If you have money on Gregory Rodriguez, I know he's got a lot of power, but so does Dennis Tululin, man. He knocked out Jamie Pickett also, but got choked out by Jungkook Park in the first round. If Gregory Rodriguez does stay to his game plan, take him down, and he can get an early finish here. I'm gonna go Gregory Rodriguez by first round ground and pound or submission. I'm gonna say ground and pound. Everyone's going with Rodriguez by KO. Let's go to the next fight on the prelims, the featured prelim of the night. We have Chris Weidman versus Brad Tavares. And guys, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna take a shot on Chris Weidman, man. I'm not really taking a shot on a lot of underdogs on this card, but Brad Tavares, man, he's not really looking all that good anymore. I mean, he was a favorite against Bruno Silva, got absolutely starched. He was like a minus 190 or minus 200, minus 220 even in some places. But I bet on Bruno Silva in that fight, because you can't really trust his chin, man. Look, his only win is over Omar Akhmedov back in 2021 and Antonio Carlos Jr. But even Weidman, man, Weidman's coming off a really bad leg injury where he had a broken leg from the Uriah Hall fight. But before that, I mean, his win was 3 years ago. This is a very like tricky fight, man. I don't think I would never lay down on a minus 260 line on Brad Tavares. Let's see what he's sitting on right now. Yeah, Brad Tavares is still sitting at minus 265, minus 275. I mean, the age gap isn't all that big. 4 years age gap. So I'm gonna take a shot on the underdog here, Chris Weidman. I might just sprinkle on him just for fun, but I'm not really looking to bet Chris Weidman with all my money. If I were you, I wouldn't really trust Brad Tavares at this money line. But this is a biased pick. I really like Chris Weidman. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch from the back in the day, and this is a really biased pick, guys. So I'm gonna go with Chris Weidman by decision. Let's go to the next fight on the prelims. We have the main card now. Let's move to the main card, guys. Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment below, leave a W below in the comments for the algorithm. We're gonna be moving on to the main card now. We have Marlon Chito Vera versus Pedro the Young Punisher Munoz. And Marlon Vera coming off a decision loss, unanimous decision, split decision, but it should have been unanimous decision loss to Corey Sandhagen. Apparently, from what I heard, that judge that scored the fight for Marlon Vera had a grudge against Corey Sandhagen, apparently, from the back in the day. So that's what happened there. But that was a unanimous decision loss for Chito Vera. Really didn't do much against Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen is that guy up there in the top 5 A very smart fighter is Corey Sandhagen, so I'm not really gonna hold that unanimous decision loss against him too much. But Pedro Munhoz, man, he's 36 years old, 5'6" with a 65-inch reach. Everything's like Chito Vera has all the advantages here against Pedro Munhoz. Pedro Munhoz's problem is he doesn't throw a lot of volume. He waits around too much. He is tough, so never been finished ever, never been choked out ever. But this dude doesn't throw a lot of volume, man. If he doesn't, he's trying to wait for the big shot. Even got outstruck by Chris Gutierrez. I mean, he dropped Chris Gutierrez in the first round, and then just waited around too much. Just like he could have got Chris Gutierrez out of there if he really tried. But that's the problem that I have with Pedro Munhoz, man. He's not really like, he's not the type of guy to go out there and like lay everything on the line. I mean, he's gonna be waiting too much. Like Pedro Munhoz, even if you look at the volume, he doesn't throw a lot of volume, doesn't attempt a lot of volume out there. UFC stats. Let's just look up his stats. I mean, look at the stats here. I mean, he throws over 5 strikes landed per minute. Eats more, absorbs 5.90 strikes per minute. So he absorbs more than he lands. Takedown accuracy is 20%, very, very bad. His takedown defense is good. I don't see Marlon Vera going for takedowns here. He never really goes for takedowns. Marlon Vera also absorbing more, but that could be because of the Corey Sandhagen fight lately. But the thing with Marlon Vera is, man, he's probably gonna have the bigger moments against Pedro Munhoz. Munhoz does have power also, but I think Munhoz is gonna have a very hard time finding Marlon Vera. Even Rob Font, man. Rob Font landed 271 strikes. That was a 5-round fight. So this is a 3-round fight. Usually 3-round fights do favor Marlon Vera. He got a KO over Frankie Edgar. Davey Grant, unanimous decision win there. Had a close fight with the Song Yadong. Song Yadong outlanded him by like 10 strikes. If you look at Pedro Munhoz, man, he's never really like landing that much strikes. He landed like 60 strikes, got outlanded by almost 17 strikes against Chris Gutierrez, even though he had the knockdown in the first round. I'm gonna go with the Marlon Chito Vera, man. He's sitting at minus 185 right now on DraftKings. Yep, Marlon Vera sitting at minus 210 in some places, minus 180 on Bet Online. If you can get him at minus 180, I mean, even minus 176. Take a shot at Marlon Vera, man. He's only coming off one loss. There's more ways for Marlon Vera to win this fight. I think this is gonna go all 3 rounds for sure. So the over 2.5 is a good bet here. I don't see either of these guys finishing each other unless something really crazy happens. But yeah, both guys are very durable. Marlon Vera never been choked out, never been KO'd, never been knocked down even, I think. I'm going to take Marlon Vera by unanimous decision win here. Let's go to the next fight on the main card. We have Neil Magny versus Ian Machado Gary. This matchup was supposed to be against Jeff Hands of Steel Neil, but apparently Neil had to pull out of this fight, so Neil Magny took this opportunity on like a week's notice. So he's definitely not gonna have the full camp that Machado Gary's gonna have against Neil Magny here. Magny is the big underdog here at plus 310. I should have took Gary at like minus 370. I think he was sitting at minus 370 yesterday. I decided to wait too much. I took him at like minus 440. I put 2 units on him. I think Machado, there's no way I see Machado Gary losing this fight, man. I think Gary could even knock him out here. Dude, Gary's looking very, very good recently. Knocking out Daniel Rodriguez. That's going to be a confidence builder in the first round. That's a big deal. Knocked out Kanal Song also. Man, Ian Gary's putting everything together right now. Neo does have the experience over Gary, but doesn't really have the KO power. Mostly just minutes winner. 17 decision wins. Most of his wins in the UFC are decisions. 14 decision wins over some good fighters, man. But whenever he faces that tough competition, the young, tough up-and-comers, they always beat him. I think Ian Machado Gary. I think Ian Gary's gonna beat him here. I'm gonna go Ian Gary by TKO. I think most people are going by decision win here. I know most people are going by KO. Wow. I'm gonna go Ian Gary by late TKO, or it could be a decision win also. If you want to get a better line on Ian Gary, look at the method of victory. Ian Gary by TKO, Ian Gary by KO, TKO, DQ, or decision, and you'll probably get like a -2, -300 or -270, 250. Neil Magny has only been knocked out twice, submitted 6 times. I don't see Gary choking him out here. Gary's not really not really looking for grappling on the mat. Does have one submission win, but that was all the way back in Cage Warriors, long time ago. But yeah, Gary by TKO or decision. Let's go to the next fight on the main card. We have co-main event of the evening. Man, there's too many less fights. There's only 10 fights on this card. We had a lot of fights canceled. We had Kobe Garbrandt versus Mario Batista. I had Mario Batista as one of my most confident bets, but Cody Garbrandt withdrew from that fight. Then we had Rob Font versus Song Yadong. That would have been a really good fight, but Song had to withdrew for some reason. And the other one, we had Jeff Neal versus Ian Gary, which was going to be a lot tougher test for Ian Gary. And I would have still picked Ian Gary to win that fight because he's just more slicker, man. He's the more slicker striker on the feet. Very good takedown defense. Good volume also. And he's very slick, man. The way he knocked out, what's his name? Daniel Rodriguez, I mean, that was really slick. Just set him up with the head kick perfectly in the first round. That's the thing. You don't see Ian Gary's kicks coming. He's very tall and lengthy for his frame at welterweight. But yeah, let's talk about the co-main event. Now we have Zhang Weili versus Amanda Lemos, and Amanda Lemos coming off some good wins over some low-level fighters like Marina Rodriguez. Just doesn't have it anymore. She's losing. She lost to another fight now. Got a submission win over Michelle Watterson, who is not really UFC level anymore in my opinion. Got submitted to Jessica Andrade, who's doesn't really have it anymore, I think, at the UFC level, at the top 5 level. And that was a really bad loss, man. Lemos, I think Zhang Weili's submission game is much better than Jessica Andrade. Weili's the much better striker here, I think. She's much more she has the much more 5-round experience. Amanda Lemos, this is gonna be her first 5-round main event, I think. No, that fight against Marina Rodriguez was 5 rounds, but she got the knockout in the second or third round. So I think the cardio is gonna favor Zhang Weili here. I think the wrestling is gonna favor Zhang Weili. I think the submission, the ground game is gonna favor Zhang Weili here. I think the striking is gonna be 50-50 because Amanda Lemos does hit hard, but she does throw a lot of hooks you can see her hooks coming. I think Zhang Weili is gonna see everything coming. She's gonna take her down and get a submission win here. I'm gonna go Zhang Weili by submission of some kind. Let's go to the main card now, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we're gonna be talking about the fight that we all want to see, the Sugar Show versus the Funk Master. Where do we start, man? Sugar Sean O'Malley, really good striker, really good hands, and lately his takedown defense is looking good, but it wasn't looking all that good against Peter Yan. Let me pull it up here. Versus O'Malley. Sorry guys, I should have pulled this up earlier, but just give me a minute. Yeah, so let's look at this Sean O'Malley's, man. He's Sean O'Malley lands about 7.43 strikes landed per minute, with the striking accuracy of 60%, which is very, very high for the bantamweight division, in my opinion. Strikes absorbed per minute, less than half. almost half strikes absorbed per minute. So he's a very good. He knows how to very good. He has very good striking defense. Striking defense at 62%. That's very high for UFC level fighters. With the takedown average of 0.45, takedown accuracy of 42%. We know O'Malley's not really a wrestler or a grappler, but he is working on his grappling at the moment. I know he knows what he has to do in this camp. Submission average of 0.5%. I don't see him submitting or taking down Sterling here at all. And let's look at Aljamain Sterling's stats. Aljamain Sterling 4.78 strikes landed per minute. Strikes accuracy is 52%. So almost 10% less than O'Malley. Strikes absorbed per minute. This is a good almost half. It is half strikes absorbed per minute. So he's not taking a lot of damage out there. Even Henry Cejudo had a really hard time finding his chin. I know he was landing some good shots. He did land some good strikes. Landed 99 significant strikes. And got 3 takedowns. But Cejudo is a Olympic gold medalist, a wrestler. I don't see O'Malley getting the takedowns in this fight. Aljamain Sterling really putting everything together right now. Really good. He had one of the toughest competition coming up in bantamweight. I think he fought like Cody Gibson, who was on the Ultimate Fighter, coming into the UFC. That was a very hard fight, man. Got the takedowns, mixed in some significant strikes on the feet, mixed in some submission attempts. Then he fought Hugo Vienna, got a KO over there. Some next guy, Miguel Gazi, arm triangle there. So I mean, then he fought Johnny Eduardo, submitted him there. Then lost to Brian Caraway, split decision, lost there. Lost to Rafael Assunção, split decision, lost there. Got a strike there. Then he really started putting things together against Augusto Mendez. Got a decision win there. Renan Barao, decision win there. Marlon Moraes. This is the fight that I wanted to talk about. So this fight, guys, he just came out there, didn't really have his hands up, and Marlon Moraes went for the flying knee, I think it was. He threw that flying knee to his head and right to his face, and just absolutely slapped him there. I know you've probably seen that highlight of him getting slapped there. I think O'Malley is going to be very dangerous with his kicks and head kicks. He knows how to set everything up here. But look at this competition he faced, man. Cody Stamen submitted him in the second round. Jimmy Rivera outstriked him. Pedro Muniz, unanimous decision over Pedro Muniz. Corey Sandhagen submitted Corey Sandhagen in the first round in like the first 2 minutes. Peter Yan, that was the DQ win that he got with how he won the belt, which is why people hate him so much. Peter Yan kicked him in the head, and I would have probably done the same thing that Aljamain Sterling's done. Why wouldn't you, man? When you're going out there putting your body, health, and everything on the line, and someone just kicks you in the head, your opponent, why wouldn't you take that belt? And then he had a rematch with Peter Yan. Really looked like a different fighter out there. Got the takedowns, got the control time. The strikes were pretty much dead even. That was a split decision win there. Then got a KO, ground and pound over TJ Dillashaw, who is a one-armed fighter. Had a problem with his arm there. And then he had his last fight was against Cejudo, man. Landed 135 strikes, took him down 4 times. And that was a very close fight. I thought Sterling should have got the unanimous decision win there, considering he outstriked him with the significant strikes by 36 significant strikes. Had more control time, had more takedowns also, as you can see. But yeah, man, this is going to be a much easier fight, I think, for Sterling. As long as he is careful on the feet, as long as he doesn't put his hand down, doesn't go for a lazy takedown. I hope he doesn't play that guard game that he likes. Not the guard game, his hand on the ground, waiting for his opponents to punch him in the head. I really hope that's not something we see here. That I really don't like seeing that from Sterling. I think he's gonna start going for the takedowns, wearing O'Malley out. Even Chito Vera was able to get the takedowns on O'Malley early on, but I think O'Malley is a different fighter now. Pretty much just leg kicked him. O'Malley does have a problem with the leg kicks. He doesn't really check leg kicks all that much. Marlon Vera was able to do that there. Man, this is a hard fight to pick. I really wanted to pick Sugar Sean O'Malley because I just like his fighting style so much. And I know the UFC wants O'Malley to win this fight. But, man, I'm going to go with Sterling, man. I just like the grappling. I just think O'Malley's going to have a hard time with the grappling exchanges. And even the... what do you call those? Sprawls, yeah. When like even Peter Yan, the way he got taken down by Peter Yan like I think a couple times, like 4 times. Yeah, Peter Yan took him down like 6 times, man. That's not a good look. If Sterling takes you down just once or twice, he's gonna wrap up a submission of some kind. Peter Yan's not really a jiu-jitsu guy, not really like submission guy, so he was just pretty much going for the control time. And I'll gotta give credit to Sean O'Malley, man. He was defending the submissions. He wasn't giving his back to Peter Yan in the fight. But Sterling's frame at one bantamweight and his size, his reach, his height, and everything is gonna be probably too much. I really hope we see a crazy knockout from Sugar Sean O'Malley. I know O'Malley can get it done because we have seen Sterling get slapped before. I'm not really betting on this fight as of right now. I think there's going to be a lot of late money coming in on O'Malley. I think people are going to be loading up on O'Malley because they know he is the better striker here. I know Sterling has come a long way in his striking, but if Sugar Sean O'Malley defends the takedowns and is able to keep it stay on his feet, or even if he's able to get up from the takedowns, I think this is going to be a really close fight, man, because O'Malley has that power. He has that KO power. 10 KO victories over in the UFC, 5 knockout victories in the UFC. Man, I'm gonna go Aljamain Sterling by decision. I don't know if he's gonna be submitting. I think everyone's picking Sterling to submit him, but man, O'Malley, I think he's a tough dude, man. He's not gonna give up that choke easily. And this is a 50-50 fight, man, because it all depends on if Aljamain Sterling can get the takedowns here. But I'm gonna go with the favorite here, the minus 270, 250 favorite. I think Sterling sitting at a minus 250 on Bovado, and sitting at minus 265 on DraftKings right now, with the comeback on O'Malley at plus 220. I think there's value in O'Malley, man. O'Malley by money line if you can get it at over plus 200. But it's probably a better live betting opportunity because if Sterling does get him down, I think you're gonna get a better line on O'Malley. I think Peter Yan was able to get up from the Sterling takedowns. Cejudo is an Olympic wrestler, so obviously Cejudo was able to get up there. This is a grappler versus striker. I'm gonna go with the grappler here. Sterling to win by maybe split decision win again because he makes his fights way too close. If Sterling wants to prove something big here, he has to finish Sean O'Malley, considering how big of a gap in grappling there is for O'Malley in this fight. Alright guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I will be making a best bets video for this card. I really appreciate all of you guys that watch my videos, and we're gonna be looking to kill this, make a lot of money on this card. We're gonna kill this card. Let's go, guys. Once again, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. My goal is to get to 100 subscribers soon. And that's it, guys. Take care of yourself. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.